next, what you mean? The candy paint clean, niggas just like the lean. If it ain't a backwood, then this is Switzer's league. Disrespect that, I'ma kiss my teeth. Pocket for the money pistol. With the bad bitches, every hood nigga dream. This is for my niggas smoking on the weed, clutching on the gun when they get deadly. Better ask we ready. This is for my niggas smoking weed, clutching guns when they get deadly. Better ask.
Yo, Wagwan, you know the nation that run that station, man. It's that rude boy, man. My bad, I've been MIA. I've been working on some shit with the team behind the scenes. Shout out to Rude Boy Nation. Shout out to Smoking Ball, Sleepy Bad Ways and Bad Ways Society. Shout out to man, everybody, man, baddies. Shout out to fucking Team Nicely. Shout out to the fam, man. Shout out to my supporters. We do have a shout out to Smoking Ball. We do have a show coming up this Sunday, so make sure you check in and tap in with us for the show. And I have some news for you. We are officially sponsored at Smoking Ball and at Rude Boy Nation with Outlaw Farmers. Premium grow indoor flowers, okay? Wagwan, guys, welcome to the show, Smoking Ball. I'm your host, Jamaican OG Rude Boy.
Yes, sir, and I'm TJ, man. What's going on, y'all?
Man, we are here to bring you some great news, update, and information since we went over the standings last week. We made our crazy throwback Thursday picks of our players. Now we got some standings from Friday all the way through Sundays of all the games that was played. So on Friday, the Clippers beat the Pacers. The Heat lost to the Cavs. The Hawks lost to the Celtics. Thunders beat the Bulls. The Rockets won against the Grizzlies. The Pelicans lost against the Raptors. Nuggets beat the Jazz. Who the fuck did the Warriors play? Because I put Warriors twice on Friday.
The Wizards, and I know they played the Nuggets yesterday.
Wait.
On Sunday, I believe.
Okay, no, you're right. Yeah, and then they beat the Wizards, and then
yes.
The Nets lost to the Lakers. Those are Saturday's game. I mean Friday's games. Saturday's games. Spurs beat the Bucks. Pistons beat the Wolves. 76ers lost to the Hornets. The Hawks beat the Kings. Grizzlies won against the Bulls. Jazz lost against the Suns. Sunday's games. Clippers beat the Bucks. Heat beat the Pacers. No, Pacers beat the Heat. I'm sorry. Nets beat the Kings. Blazers beat the Wizards. Celtics beat the Hornets. The Rockets beat the Pelicans. The Knicks lost to the Thunders. And the Nuggets beat your Golden State Warriors.
Yes. Oh.
So, with that being said, we don't know the stats yet. Hopefully, by Thursday, Keon will let us know who's in first, second, and third. And probably, I think we have like a week left.
Yeah, about regular season is over on the 12th. That's the day every team plays in the NBA. Every team.
So by the end of the regular season, we'll have our winner and we'll let you know who our winner is. But Thursday we'll give the standings of who's in first, who's in second, who's in third, and I believe Tristan, you're still got the lead as far as I know for right now. We don't know anything about these picks. Hopefully, I took the lead and then I'm back and forth.
Oh boy. After this, I'd be surprised if I still had the lead because some of my picks I know have been wrong. I've had some dead wrong picks.
I started catching fire towards the end.
I know.
We don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. You were one of the most competitive ones.
I know. It's been great.
But the whole thing has been very competitive as far as the NBA is. The games is a lot of time consuming. It's a lot harder than the NBA was. So
right, exactly.
Find a way to make it a little bit easier for everybody, especially Key as a scorekeeper.
Yeah.
So, is there any of these games for the past week that stood out to you as far as teams? or players that's
Yeah,
involved?
kind of just watching the last few. It's the week and the last couple of weeks of the season, and everything ramps up. The intensity kind of ramps up because everybody's trying to get prominent seating. I would say the Thunder. You know, something about the Thunder, like as great as they are, they're still vulnerable, and I'll just say they'll go as far as Shea is going to take them, and he's had some pretty bad games that I feel like if Victor wins MVP, it'll be because of those last few stretch of games that Shea has had that haven't really been spectacular. While the Spurs have been looking great, man. The Spurs have been looking great. They're only 2 games back of the first seed. There is a great possibility that they could slip up, or not slip up, but catch up and take that number 1 seed spot from the OKC. So it's getting great, man. It's getting really good.
Yeah, and I know San Antonio loves to hear that right now. So I know.
Yeah, I know, man. It's wow. Never.
But I
I'm
got
just happy
faith.
with the way
I
they've
still
gone.
have faith in my Lakers. I don't know what their idea of where they see the Lakers at as far as rankings is concerned. I'm not talking about in
Yeah,
the West, but I'm talking about power rankings for them not to be
power
ranked
rankings, right?
top 5 was fucking diabolical to me. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
what I would say though is the team that I'm noticing that's starting to be awake, and Diggs is gonna love to hear this. Is the Thunder look like they done? How many games have they won? They won a few games in a row, right?
Who, the Thunder
No,
or
not the Thunder, the Nuggets.
yeah? I think it was 6 or no pun intended. It was either 6 or 7 games they won in a row.
Right, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So they done caught fire. I think who was it? The Raptors done caught fire. And then you and Key has been praising the Hawks. I don't know. Did they win again? Yep, they won
Oh yeah,
again.
they beat Boston today. They beat Boston.
They beat
They're
Boston,
comfortably the 6th seed.
and they beat Boston as a 6th seed. That's
They beat
impressive.
Boston. Yup.
So there might be a
So
threat
yeah.
going into the playoffs. That might be a team that we might need to watch out for as far as
Well,
the
they
playoffs.
got if the NBA if the playoffs were to start today, they would have the Knicks as their first round matchup. And I honestly could see that going. I
Seven
can
games.
honestly, I can see it going either way. With if they end up the 6th seed, if they stay at the 6th seed, whoever ends up that 3rd seed, they can end up either way. I think the Hawks are going to be a very tough out, and I
You
think they
think
can upset somebody.
so?
I
What do you
really
think?
think they
Okay, so
can.
let's say the playoffs did start today. Let's say they do play the Knicks. How do you see that playing now? Do you think it's a clean sweep by your team? Do you think it's going to go 7 games? Do you? I mean,
I think it does have the potential because I remember the last season, Detroit and the Knicks, that went. It should have went 7 games, but the Detroit kind of got screwed over by a last minute like non-call on the 3. But that went 6. That went 6 games. I mean, you could totally. I mean, the Hawks they really none of their players have any playoff experience except for C.J. McCollum. So I mean, but this is a young, hungry team, man. Like you never count these kind of
yeah, I
players out,
mean,
bro,
shit.
because
Look at you were just said you just mentioned. Look at the Thunder.
yep,
Nobody, I could never last year would have said, "Oh, by the way, look out for the Oklahoma City
I
Thunder.
know.
They're going to be winning the championship this year." No, that was
Nobody thought so. I mean, you kind of knew like they were going to be in the mix for sure because they already taken that step to where like they were starting to get consistently good. But after they lost to the Mavericks in that semifinals, you kind of they still had some ways to go. So
right.
anything can happen. This is why the NBA is the NBA. Like nobody's ever a for sure thing
Right.
anymore.
Not
Like
even the Lakers, not even the
yeah,
Spurs, not
anything
even the
can happen.
Celtics. As you can see, if the
Yup.
Thunder won,
Mm-hmm. The
um,
Thunder won. Freaking man. Hell, we hit the Pacers. You never know. You never know when a small market
yeah, the
team
Pacers went all
can
the way last
surprise like
year
that.
too. So yeah, you're on
They could have
point.
won it all too.
So with John Morant being out,
Oh boy.
what does that say for his career in Memphis and his career as a whole? Is he done in Memphis? Is are they? You think they're still
He's
going?
gone.
He's done.
I think he's gone. I think Ja, unfortunately, is Ja's going, and kind of funny news that's for kind of similar. I don't know, like Jaden Ivey just got waived by the Chicago Bulls for some comments that he made that were unflattering to certain communities, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But the problem is with a lot of these young cats, man, is the maturity level. Like, he was, and I'm not going to say was because I still think Ja is very talented and he's still a great player, but I just think he needs a new environment. He needs some better mentorship around him because I don't know what it is. I'm not going to speak on his home life because I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know who's real. I don't know. And this is a lesson in life. You got to be careful who you have in your inner circles, man, because sometimes your friends and people around you don't mean you well. And when you get into some money, you get a little clout. You gotta be careful, man, how you move because just as fast as you can get it, you can lose it. Yeah. And for him, he still has the talent. It's just the injuries. I don't know how you really maneuver a career like that. You know what I mean?
Have you ever heard the term? You can take a nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Yeah,
When it comes to his that part of it, I think that's just his character. I don't think he's a bad person for say. I just think he got, excuse my language, nigga ways.
Yeah.
Which most black people, we all have nigga issues.
Yeah, of course.
So I just think, I believe he made some bad choices as far as with weapons and guns, but I truly believe he learned from it because we haven't seen him do it again ever since last time.
It's
his play has improved.
Yeah.
But the biggest concern is what you said is the
injuries.
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
If he goes
especially for a play of his archetype.
If he goes to a new environment, what would be a good fit?
Man, it's stay the hell out of Miami. What's crazy, Miami's a really great culture, but I think the fear around Ja is you take him out of Memphis, you put him in like a city like Miami. Like, I don't know if that would be great. You know what I mean? Like, that's every nigga's dream, right? You get out of Memphis and you go to the beautiful city of Miami. Yeah, like that might be even more problematic, even with the culture set up by Miami.
But so,
man.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. It's kind of a hard one because his market is so bad right now just because the Bucks couldn't even get him. Like, that's how bad his value was. Like, they weren't even trying to give up a whole farm for Ja. So it's kind of a tough one, but maybe oh my gosh. It's hard because he's not a shooter. I think that's the main hindrance to his game that he needs to develop. He's got to develop a shooter. Yeah. He's like wild. He's like his archetype is like Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook.
You know who? This crazy. Remember Iguodala?
Oh yeah.
Young Iguodala though, not old Iguodala. I'm talking about high flying when he first came into the league.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
In the NBA, Iguodala. Do you remember?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, I think not per se exactly, but even Vince Carter, his game also reminds me a lot of Vince Carter. So if he could become a better shooter, I think he'd become a better player. If he could stay, if you get him around Braun, if you get him around Curry, if you get him around KD, I think you'll get the best out of Ja. But Ja is the one carrying the team, and I don't think that's his role.
Yeah, and all of his guys are gone, so you kind of can't really have him, there. Jaren Jackson's ain't there. Desmond Bane ain't there. Dylan Brooks, like all those guys are gone. So it's like, what do you really have around them? And to your point, you need somebody who not only has been around the block, who knows, not only knows how to win, but it's just mentally mature and still skilled. Like you'll listen to one of those guys.
Like I know for sure LeBron. You think Luka was shooting this good before he got around LeBron?
No,
LeBron
yeah,
elevated his game, and he's not going to take credit for that. But LeBron is the real reason why Luka is playing how. If you start to look at Luka now, you kind of see a lot of LeBron in his game.
yeah. And not only that, KD. I mean, KD's been a hell of a underrated shooter his last few years. He's been flirting with the 50, 40, 90 club almost every single season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So get him around guys who know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you put him around the right people, he can make some noise. Now,
Yeah.
imagine? I think a good landing spot would be with the Warriors.
Oh, say that again. It kind of cut out a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think a good landing spot would actually be the Warriors.
You know, it's funny. They floated. I'll say this. I definitely think the culture fit. I'll say this. Andrew Wiggins, right? You know, when he came to the Golden State, I remember a lot of the words around him. You know, he was just a player who never really gave 100% effort. Like, he was just there on the court. I've seen the Warriors take guys like that and turn them into champions and turn them into, you know, Wiggins became a hell of a good defender, even if it was only for a season, but it mattered because they won a chip. You get him around the right people, you get him around the right players, around the coaching staff, and he's still young, man. Like, he's still super young. Like, I still think there's a lot of good years ahead of him. He's just got to get healthy and keep his mind right. You know what I mean? You got to, and like I said, to your point, like, even for me, I'll even say, like, there was a point where I had to realize that, you know, the fine line between being yourself, but also knowing how to operate and maneuver through certain environments and not be used to how you act. Because, you know, certain areas I've grown up in, like, you know, where I was either the black man in class, the only black kid in school, the only black kid in the block, the only black guy at my job. And it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. We've all been there to a point, and it's like how I talk with you and my boys, it would be very different how I talk in public. But you also never want to sacrifice your whole personality and who you are as a person.
Comfortable, right?
Yeah, and I think with Ja, like you to your point, like just, and even Anthony Edwards too. You know, there's a lot of people who aren't used to personable black men like that, and because of that, people kind of have this already preset notion. You know, not to preach on anything, but I think with Ja, yeah. So I think for Ja, it's a fine line, just knowing when to be yourself, but knowing when it's time to suit up and take care of business. You got to do that.
Man. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
Bad choices as far as with weapons and guns, but I truly believe he learned from it because we haven't seen him do it again ever since last time. You know,
it's
his play has improved.
Yeah,
but the biggest concern is what you said is the
injuries.
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah,
if he goes
especially for a play of his archetype.
If he goes to a new environment, what would be a good fit?
Man, it's stay the hell out of Miami. And what's crazy, Miami's a really great culture, but I think the fear around Ja is you take him out of Memphis, you put him in like a city like Miami. Like, I don't know if that would be great. You know what I mean? Like, that's every nigga's dream, right? You get out of Memphis and you go to the beautiful city of Miami. Yeah, like that might be even more problematic, even with the culture set up by Miami.
But so,
man.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. It's kind of a hard one because his market is so bad right now just because the Bucks couldn't even get him. Like, that's how bad his value was. Like, they weren't even trying to give up a whole farm for Ja. So it's kind of a tough one, but maybe oh my gosh. It's hard because he's not a shooter. I think that's the main hindrance to his game that he needs to develop. He's got to develop a shooter. Yeah. He's like, wow. He's like, his archetype is like Derek.